Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video. It is going to be my first update in my 2021 whole collection project pan. This was a project that was started by Becky Loves Kanga, and I was inspired to do this by my friends Emily and Sarah. I will have all three channels linked down below, as well as a spreadsheet of so many other wonderful project panners that are currently working on this project. If you guys are new to this project, essentially I have my entire makeup collection, every single pan, everything in my makeup collection itemized on a spreadsheet, and we randomly generate 10 different products to be working on at a time. It is a rolling style project, and I'm really excited to say that I have 2 products that I will be rolling out today, 2 products that I hit goal on. Yay, super exciting. It's always super fun and also super nerve-wracking to roll in new items. So if you guys are interested in seeing my progress, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you love project panning content, or you just like to chit chat about makeup, I would love if you would consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's just get into this update. If you guys missed my intro, it will be linked down below in my whole collection 2021 project pan playlist. But let's get started with my progress. I'm obviously going to save the exciting for the end. Can't ruin the surprises. So up first, I have this powder. This is actually the RCMA powder in my Laura Mercier powder packaging, because if you guys know, the RCMA powder comes in like packaging that just doesn't work for a loose powder. So I filled this up quite a bit, and I didn't mark it. I didn't mark it when I filled this up, but I don't know if you will be able to tell, but I have about 1/3 of this container left. I have been using this so much. When I rolled this in, it weighed 2.0, I think? No, 2.2 ounces. I should be weighing in grams, you guys, and I realized that when I started to like weigh these throughout all of my projects. I was like, I should have weighed these in grams. So the first introduction to all my projects, I have weights in ounces, but I'm going to be doing grams going forward. So this now weighs 2.0 ounces and it is 57 grams. So there was definitely some movement that we could see in the weight. I don't know that I took a picture of how full this was in the beginning, so that's my mistake. I don't even know if I will mark this now, because I do believe I will. This should be really close to being done. I feel like this will take me another 2 more months. 2 more months, but every day that I do my makeup, I pretty much do set my face with the powder, because usually I'm going to work and wearing a mask, and my makeup never makes it all the way through the day, but the powder certainly helps. So I've been using this a ton, and I feel like I will be done with this pretty soon. Next up, we have one of my Kosas duos. This is my powder duo, and like I said in the introduction, I have every single individual pan itemized on a spreadsheet, so I specifically drew the highlight version of this. This is what it's looking like now. I will post pictures on the side as well, and if it's a usage goal, which this one is a usage goal, over on this side I will post a number of times that I used each item. So I gave myself a goal of using this 25 times. I definitely feel like this will go, or would have gone quicker if it was the spring summertime. You can definitely tell where I have been using this. So I've used this 4 times. I still have 21 times more that I need to use this. It is like a deeper, like it's more of a blush topper for me than it is a highlight, which is totally fine, but that's why I haven't used it quite as much. But the few times that I have used this, I've really enjoyed the way that it's looked, or the way that I've paired it with other things. You guys know I love Kosas. I love my Kosas duos. So I still have 21 uses needed to hit my goal and roll this out, but that is my progress on this duo. Next up, I also rolled in my Patrick Ta duo in She's So LA, and I rolled in the powder pan specifically. I again give myself the goal of using this 25 times. This is what the pan looks like now. Again, I will insert photos over here. So I've used this 6 times, meaning I have 19 more times that I need to use this to reach my goal. Usually I just use this as like a blush bronzer because it is a little bit deeper. I really like to use this on days that I'm going lighter with my bronzer, which is rare because we all know how much I love bronzer, but that's what it looks like. A little bit deep. Again, I feel like this one is more suited for me in the summertime, but we're still rolling with it. Still got 6 uses out of it, so 19 more times to hit goal on this. Next up, not exciting progress at all. We have my Becca Prismatic Amethyst Highlight. This is one of the highlighters that's been in my collection the longest. I believe I gave myself a goal of using this 20 times. For some reason, I don't have it written down. I only used this 1 time. I I saw one of my favorite bloggers, podcasters, whatever you want to, she does a lot of things. Lauren from The Skinny Confidential, she was talking about how a purple highlight really brightens the face. So I was really excited to roll this in, but because of the like duochrome shift in this, sometimes it can make you look like you have a bruise on your face. So I have to be really careful with this one and really sheer it out. I'm wondering if I mixed this with like a lighter, maybe like the Mary Lou, maybe I could get this to work better as just a standalone highlight. But yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work the way I want. So I still have 19 more uses to hit goal on this. This is something that even though it's so old, this has so much sentimental value to me. I remember lusting after this highlight for so long. I can remember when I purchased this highlight, so I just couldn't get rid of this highlight even though I rarely reach for it, but maybe that's a good thing it's in this product, so it forces me to get use out of it. Still 19 more uses before I can roll this out. Next up, we had a pan from the Essence Sun Matte Bronzing Club. We had this pan right here. It is pretty deep, and even when I have a self-tan, this is still pretty dark for me. I used it a couple of times as an eyeshadow, and there were a few times I tried to mix these two to like sheer this one out, make it a little bit, or sheer this one out and make it a little lighter. It still ended up being way too bronzy. I remember going to the bathroom and looking at my face at work and being like, I have my mask on and I can only see this part of my face, and I'm like, this bronzer is way too dark for me. But I did give myself a goal of using this 20 times, and I reached for this a total of 6 times, so I do only have 14 more uses. I feel like this will still take me potentially like 2 to 3 more months, just because again it is so deep, but I can use it just as a nice like darker shade in my, like on my eyes. If I was doing like a one shadow, I could definitely use this too. So maybe I'll surprise myself and get to roll it out earlier than anticipated, but I feel like this one will be in here for a couple more months. I also rolled in my Tarte Maracuja Tinted Hydrator. I was right here when we rolled it in, and this is something that I do really enjoy. So I gave myself a goal line of using this to like the halfway point, because there are other tinted moisturizers in my collection I don't like as much as this one that I would like to try and work my way through this year. This is something I would repurchase when I finish it, therefore I'm not in as much of a rush to finish this one, whereas I would rather finish or focus on some other ones I know I wouldn't be repurchasing, so I can get them out of my collection and hopefully like whittle down my foundation collection. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I'm not sure how many times I use this one. Again, I have a goal of using it to the halfway mark. I know I reached for it a couple of times. There was no weight change. So when I rolled this in, there was a weight change. When I rolled this in, this was 1.4 ounces. It is now 1.3 ounces or 38 grams. So I still feel like I'm gonna have a ways to go on this. This is something that I definitely reach for more in the summer because it is lighter coverage, but it is also a little bit deeper, as you can see. So I have been mixing this a little bit, or I've mixed this a few times with my Bite Beauty and my Cellar foundation. That's way too light for me because I'm also panning that. It's going to be a little bit on this one though, I have a feeling. Another product that we don't have very exciting progress on, this is my Hourglass Bronzer in Luminous Bronze Light. Again, a product I really like but works better for me, or just something I prefer more in the spring, summertime. I did give myself a goal of using this 50 times. I do want to make some good progress on this year. That was a really lofty goal, but we're going to stick with it. I did only reach for this 2 times though, so we still have 48 uses left. This still has a pretty large dome on it. I mean, you can see a little bit of wear, but not a ton. This is a very expensive product, but Hourglass has been doing some shady things lately, so I'm not necessarily sure if I will be supporting Hourglass in the future. It depends on... They would have to do a lot to kind of redeem themselves before I would feel comfortable purchasing from them again. We have a lot of this bronzer left, but there are other beautiful glowy bronzers I could purchase instead of this one when I finish. Next up, we have my Buxom lip gloss. This is a little mini. This is in the shade Sandy, and it as you can see, I have made some movement. So when I rolled it in, I was kind of at the halfway mark, and now I am right here. There was no change in weight in terms of ounces. I rolled it in, it was 0.7 ounces, and it is still 0.7 ounces or 20 grams. I did give myself the goal of finishing this off, and I have been using this quite a bit. As a matter of fact, I feel like my lip gloss is wearing off, so maybe I'll just go with this one. Add a little gloss to the lips. This is something that if I focused really heavily on this in February, I feel like I could finish this, but I also could see this being in this project for a couple more months, so we'll see. I'm making good progress, but not finished yet. All right, guys, that brings us to the 2 products that we are rolling out. So up first, I have my Clarins Lip Oil in the shade Candy. It looks like there's like a little bit at the bottom, but I have scraped out everything I can get out of this. This is something that when I am not on my lip product no buy, I will be purchasing this. I want to get the like orangey apricot shade. I liked Candy a lot. I would repurchase Candy as well. I have been using so many lip products on my lips. I've just not cared if my mask gets like smeared, etc. It's so dry here in Minnesota. I've been putting on, I always have a lip product on, and this is something that like I carry with me all around my house and continuously reapply. It's super comfortable on the lips. I feel like it's really hydrating and it's been a godsend. But I did finish this and I'm excited to continue to work on lip products throughout my collection as I'm on this lip product to no buy. I've been really inspired and motivated to finish off some lip products. Maybe I'll have to extend my lip product to no buy. We'll see. And then I also rolled in my Nabla Cutie Nude Palette, which was pretty much brand new to my collection. This is what it looks like now. As you can tell, it has some good wear on it. Anytime a palette gets rolled in, I just want to use the palette in any capacity, just reaching into it for even one shade at least 10 times, and I reached for this exactly 10 times. So I will be rolling this out today. This is a nice palette, but the formula and the textures in this palette, like the mattes are like the chunky matte formula from Nabla, which can be a little bit more time consuming to work with. It takes a little bit more finessing. So while I like this palette, I don't think that this palette is going to be for everyone, and I'm honestly really excited to put this away for a little bit. All right, you guys, we are to the fun part where we get to roll in 2 new products. So my spreadsheet probably isn't perfect. I don't feel like it'll ever be perfectly perfect, but as of right now, I have 597 potential pans, products, whatever, throughout my collection that I could potentially get, and we are going to be randomly generating 2 numbers. So we get number 449. I'm going to save that because Lord knows I'll forget. And then we get number 522. My only rules for this project are that I only want to be working on 2 products in the same category at a time. Yeah. A highlighter is the only thing that I wouldn't want to be working on, so if we rolled in a highlight, we would re-roll. So number 522 is going to be on ice. What is, oh no, a single shadow. I don't even know which one that is. Shoot. That we'll have to figure out what on ice is. I want to say that one is probably a Give Me Glow single, and it might be a more champagne shade. I'm not sure though, you guys. So on ice, a single shadow, and then we had number, was it 449. 449 is going to be Pat McGrath Subliminal. Oh, so a palette. Oh. Okay, so that's the Pat McGrath V6 pan, which is also not my favorite, but I barely reached for that last year, so probably needs a little love. I'm gonna go grab those 2 products and I will hopefully be right back. Depends how long it takes me to find that single shadow. All right, guys, I found everything, and the single shadow is the one that I was thinking of. So this is... Okay, On Ice survived that fall. So this is the shade On Ice. It is from Give Me Glow Cosmetics, and it is a more champagne shade, which is super exciting because this one should be pretty easy for me to work on. So I will swatch it on my hand so we can drool together. Just ignore this other swatch. That is so pretty. I feel like that is gonna match just about any neutral look that I pair it with, and I could probably make this be like, oh my god, that looks like literally wet. That is so freaking beautiful. I could probably do that as a super intense highlight too. What do I want my goal to be with this? Do I want to try and hit pan? Oh, I could probably use this. I want to try and hit pan on it. I don't reach for my singles enough, so I'm gonna try. My goal is going to be to hit pan on this. I'm probably going to regret this because I'm also doing panless eyeshadows and bringing so many palettes into my collection to review, but my goal will be to hit pan. And then I meant Pat Pat McGrath Sublime, not Subliminal. So this is the palette that we rolled in. This was a holiday palette from a couple years ago. It is a good palette. I will say I was pretty disappointed in this blue shade. Just in general, I don't think it's a great shade. It's kind of dry and it's probably gonna look, no, it doesn't even look that great swatch. It's just like, But I will say I do love these two shades right here. I think they're really pretty, and these mattes are really nice. So I could honestly get a ton of use out of these mattes and pair them with the Gimme Glow single that I just rolled in. So goal, as is always with the palettes that I roll in, I just want to reach for this 10 times. Hopefully I can hit goal on this and roll this out next update like I did with the Nabla palette. Again, all I have to do is reach for one shade in this palette. It doesn't have to, like, just use the palette 10 times, stuff, you know? I don't think I used this 10 times even last year, so this needs some love. It's not my favorite palette ever, but I'm excited to work on it. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video, for today's update. I hope that you enjoyed. If you're looking for more project panning content from me, I will have my other projects linked down below. I am currently doing the I'm currently doing the Deck of Panning project pan. I'm also doing a rolling project 10 pan, the pan those eyeshadows, and the Partners in Cream project pan. So all of those projects will be linked down below in case you guys are interested in binge watching some more project panning content. And don't forget to check out the playlist and cheer everyone else along who is currently participating in this project. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel as you always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.